Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and we are finally live. I had some problems with OBS, and go figure, that never happens to anybody that tries to stream live on YouTube, I imagine, but it happened to me. Welcome, good to see everybody, and today we're going to take a look at some miniatures. There are some deals on Miniature Market, and so I thought I would bring a guest on with me. So today we have Caleb from the Blandco channel. If you want to tell them where you're from and what's going on.
I just want everybody to know, my family and friends, there's an active tornado warning happening right now. I received a notice on my smartphone to seek shelter, but Wally asked me to help him out with shopping on miniaturemarket.com, and he never asks any favors, and I owe him. So if the worst is to happen, just know I'm here. It's my own choice. I've taped the windows down. I should be fine. But if I disappear entirely during this thing, it's probably because the electricity went out. So just let everybody know it's all cool. Hey, Wally.
That was good. You got me on that one. If anything else, fellas, you can always hide under your desk. That always seemed to help when we were kids.
This is a Canadian-made desk, which I got in Watertown, New York, in 2007.
Oh wow!
On the side of the road.
On the side of the
road. I have rebuilt this desk 4 times, and I've reinforced it with 2x4s. And this thing this thing traveled all around northern New York and all the way to. So this thing's stable. If any desk is going to protect me from this tornado, it's probably going to be this one, because again, reinforced with
yeah. Very good. On your way under the desk, don't forget Kringle. Kringle's looking at me, his eyes are shaking right now.
He'll go into the desk before me.
All right, fantastic. So what we're going to do today is we have Miniature Market pulled up, and Caleb made a YouTube post the other day. For those of you who don't follow his channel, a link to that is in the description below. That there is an up to 90% off, like all of these games and things of that nature. And what I like to do with these type of things is I like to look for miniatures or terrains that I could use like in my videos. So that's the first thing that interested me with that. And so I've got this screen pulled up. We're just going to kind of go through and see if there are any deals to be had. Now, looking at this, there are 2 things that I do want to point out if you're watching this now or if you're watching this later. And the first thing is this. Everything ends for this as far as the sale. The promotion ends tomorrow night, which would be July 17th at 7 a.m. Oh, that's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, July 17th at 7 a.m. Chicago time. The second thing I want to point out is I have started going through some of these, and it does look like that they are limiting their shipping to the United States. So if you are in Canada or Europe or anywhere else in the world other than the U.S., it does not look like you'll be able to get these shipped to you. So,
and also, please note, like, this is Wally's doing this the wrong way. Unfortunately, to get the good deals, like, there really is only one way to do it. Subscribe to their email list, and then when you get the email and there's a big sale like this, you click on the sale link, and then you wait, because the website is crashing, because like literally everyone's on there trying to grab the stuff. So in real time, I missed out on a lot of stuff when this first launched. But yeah, I mean, there's still some stuff left, and we'll see what Wally's got his eye on and see if I have any thoughts about it.
Yeah. How often do you think a website like this does this?
It really varies a lot. Miniature Market's weird. I know most of these sites do have a rotating stock thing. They stock so much stuff, and eventually they just have to clear out warehouse space. So they have really good deals, I would say probably roughly 4 times a year. Oh, wow. And then they have so-so sales like probably another 4 times. But, you never know if the deal is going to be, you just have to, check it out when it goes. Because they did the 90% off thing. There was a pre-sale before this that was like, and there was like nothing. There was nothing I was interested in. If you were interested in board games, maybe. But there was no deals on miniatures. So I ended up getting nothing on the sale that happened right before this. But then this sale, I actually did get a cart.
Oh,
I'm trying to
nice.
be very. I'm trying to be very. We could talk about what I got
Okay.
after you discuss
Sure, sure.
what's going on here. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So let's get started. So if you want to follow along with us, what we're going to do is we may jump around here a little bit, but to start things out, go to miniaturemarket.com/sale, and we are sorting these by best sellers. And so we're going to be starting on page 1. Now, when I first opened this, I haven't done a lot of research and looking at these, but a lot of these games, if you are into the games or the expansions for those games, these are some really good deals. I was looking like a lot of the listings here don't show the pictures of what's inside, so I would go out and try to find what was inside, try to find a picture of it. And if you were to compare these prices to like Amazon, the retail price is pretty much spot on. So you can see here, like on some of these, where you've got it like a retail price of $29.99, and you can pick this up for $6 or things like that. So the first thing that caught my eye, I guess, on this are the Zombicide. There seems to be a lot of different expansion packs. And are you familiar with those at all, Caleb, or no?
Yeah, it's cool mini or not. I love the ones that I got for Zombicide. Black Plague, which is their medieval style fantasy zombie game. So
Okay.
the NPC stuff that I got for the zombie sets basically is just what we're looking at is the box of Zombies 11.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I got was all medieval style stuff, and that was very fun to paint up.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so that was very good. And so you're gonna get with any kind of cool mini or not stuff, they usually pack their board games with miniatures. So 20 zombies for $5 is not a bad deal at all. The only problem is, of course, is that not going to interest me because I don't generally, I limit myself to fantasy stuff when it comes to miniatures.
Gotcha. Now, with regards to like these Zombicide miniatures, are they to scale with like regular D&D miniatures?
They'd be a little bit bigger. They're
A little
28
bit bigger.
millimeter heroic.
Okay.
So they're going to be slightly in scale. If you have a mixed bags of miniatures like me, like they're generally going to be in scale with the vast majority of stuff. If you've had any like Reaper Bones or anything like that, they're going to be kind of in the same scale as that.
Nice. Okay. And then you said you're familiar with them. So how about painting? Are they easy to paint? Are they a
Cool
pain?
Mini or Not is a very good mix.
Okay.
I actually don't know off the top of my head. It's obviously not resin for this price. It's a PVC style plastic mix,
Okay.
but very easy to prime. So you basically just have to. I still give all cheap miniatures like this a quick wash, but
Hmm.
you don't have to do anything special. You just have to wash them off a little bit. I mean, I generally just rinse them off, make sure there's no mold release agent, and then you can prime them with whatever primer you like.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add items to my cart as we go along. Now, that's not saying that I'm going to buy everything that I add to my cart. It's just a way for me to keep track of things. And then sometime after the stream, before the sale ends tomorrow, I will probably pick up some of the things that I add to my cart. So I'm going to go ahead and add the box of zombies number 11, simply because looking at the cover, I can't see the miniatures themselves, but like there's a Santa Claus zombie and looks like a sailor zombie and stuff like that. And I just think that would be fun if I'm playing in real life to put those type of miniatures out.
Yeah.
Now,
So if this is similar to the one that I got, then you get 4 of each.
nice.
So
And
there's 5 different ones. You get 4 of each on a little
4 of
spruce.
each. Okay,
Yeah.
that was going to be my next question because it looked like limited pictures at the top. And Caleb also knows very well that I despise painting miniatures. So a lot of these are probably going to be gray or whatever their normal color is going
Yeah.
into battle. But
And here's the thing, guys, with a sale like this, especially if you're like me and you're in there during the first hour of the sale trying to get the best deals, you got to go in with a game plan so you're not spending money on stuff that you don't want. Wally's adding stuff to the cart, but since he's doing it in a very deliberate manner, he'll really consider if he's going to be using these for a game. Now,
yes,
I generally don't, but I have a very hard rule because I have way too many miniatures. And I like to make the very hard rule. It's got to be fantasy. It's got to fit in with my D&D stuff because that's what I use the most of. But if you're going to do a lot of zombie stuff, I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to find a better deal on very unique looking zombie miniatures like this.
Nice. So that was the first one on page 1 here that caught my eye. Looking at this page, Caleb, is there anything that jumps out to you, or are you reserving judgment for when we get to other pages?
Obviously, Talisman. Talisman is smaller scale stuff. There are miniatures in a lot of these sets that we're looking at on this first page now. The zombie side survivor set usually has a very unique miniature, which is usually well sculpted. For $2, though, I don't really like the look of that miniature. It's not the greatest. Okay. There's also an Ultimate Survivors one from Zombicide as well that usually has very specific PC style Zombicide guys. We have the Zombicide Black Plague Homers. These are ones I was kind of looking at because these are more fantasy style stuff. But $3 a pop.
Wow.
You can go on eBay and you can generally find the Zombicide stuff for $1 a pop in terms of just the single stuff like this. So even though this looks like maybe you like the miniature enough to spend $3 per miniature, but for me that's just a little bit too much. I for deals, I like to keep it to $1 per miniature, around that, unless it's something special. And the zombie side stuff, I got a lot of miniatures of dudes holding swords already, so not something I'm interested in. But if you like the slightly smaller scale stuff, Talisman, I forget the exact scale, it's more like 25 millimeter or true 28 millimeter. If you like the scale, the Talisman stuff, the sets that come with the miniatures are really good. And then, of course, you have the Arcadia Quest on the first page as well, but that's all chibi, super deformed stuff, which I personally I don't understand why they're making so much stuff in that style. Like, we're literally filling up. We are going back to the days of the 80s, of the ET dumpster landfills, and we're literally filling landfills up with this super deformed stuff. But yeah. If you're interested in smaller scale miniatures, then the Dragon expansion has a very cool dragon miniature in it, as well as a couple other bad guys. That's, it's not bad. 6 plastic figures of very good quality for $11. That's not bad considering one is a dragon, but too small to be in scale with most of my stuff. So,
and which one was that?
That was the Talisman on the first page, revised 4th edition Dragon expansion.
Dragon expansion. Let's just take a look at that real quick. I find it. Is that the? I'm looking at the Arcadia one there. That's the chibi base one you said, right?
Yeah, Arcadia is going to be chibi based. So.
Yeah. I did look at those, and it was just like it looked like. I don't know what to compare it to. I mean,
it's basically the Funko Pop.
Yeah, Funko
aesthetic.
Pops.
It's a lot of people love that stuff, and I just don't. It makes me angry every time I look at them.
Yeah. Cool.
Ironically enough, I love the Dragon Quest slime aesthetic though, which is basically the same thing, but somehow it hits different,
Absolutely. So let's see here. I do want to pick up one of these talisman things because I do want to look at them. So it looks like we've got a few. We've got the Blood Moon expansion. For some reason, I'm still not seeing the Dragon expansion. That's okay. We'll find. Let's find this one down here. So let's see here. The Blood Moon expansion for $7. I really wish they had at least showed. Oh, they do. There's the back of the box there. So I don't know if everyone can see that, but that one's kind of cool. The Blood Moon one's got like a little werewolf, a few other little dudes. So I mean, have you painted any of these?
I would honestly say just don't even bother adding it to your cart because the miniatures are going to be too small in scale. So the vast majority of these, the werewolf might look good, but then like if you're going to get a werewolf for D&D, you might as well get one that looks like big and impressive,
Yeah. And then just to address chat real quick, say hi to everybody. Eric, hey, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Immortal Origins, how you doing, my friend? Yes, I would love to be shopping for your birthday right now, but they do not ship these to Portugal, so you're going to have to come and visit me and pick these up in person. I'm sure that won't be any issues.
Okay, yeah. He also said something about the gelatinous cube Funko Pop, which is one of the. That is the one Funko Pop I reviewed on my channel, and I will never review another one.
No,
But I reviewed that because it is such a well-designed one, and it's
really.
that's something that's really cool. It's also one of the ones that, of course, sold out immediately because guess what? It had mass appeal, and then oh my god, if you make something that has mass appeal, it sells out immediately. Everybody wants it. So yeah, the one. So yeah, congratulations. I would keep that Funko Pop because that's going to be one of the few Funko Pops that actually will keep its value throughout the years, sir.
Nice, very good. Also, welcome Steve Zirk. Says Arcadia Quest is a really fun game. That's I've never played it myself, but yeah, I mean, there's so many expansions for it. It does look like there's a lot of fun to be had there, and if you are looking to pick up games, this is definitely the site and the day for you. A lot of these are expansions, but I would imagine I haven't seen any just like the core game itself yet for like Arcadia, so I'm guessing like most of these are expansions. So if you want to pick those up in order to play the game, that is awesome. For me personally, I'm looking to strip these of everything except for the train and the miniatures. Or for the train and the miniatures. What about that dice tower, that Black Plague dice tower? Have you ever seen that in person or no? It's $2. It's right at the top of the screen there. Also, a super chat from Steve. Hey, thank you very much, Steve. Buy something on me. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, and we'll do. We'll do.
I really wish they would have made it plain. I don't like the big goofy logo.
Yeah, yeah.
It folds up though. I mean, if you're looking for something that can be like put in your little miniature DM thing, and you need a dice tower like that, $2.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's plastic, it folds up. But I wouldn't buy it just because it's got the big goofy label on there. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But that's personal preference.
Interesting.
Oh my god, Immortal Origins in the chat. He's got the Tiamat one too. Oh my god. He has literally bought the 2 Funko Pops. I didn't even get a chance to buy the Tiamat one. Let me be fair though. The Tiamat one is a little bit chibi. So not my cup of tea, but I am jealous that you have like probably the 2 best Funko Pops that you could buy in terms of D&D stuff.
And I'm curious, Immortal, did you get those? What was the shipping on those? Are those available readily there in Europe or in Portugal, or did you have to pay to have them shipped over? Kind of curious on that. Let's move on to the second page there. So I think I'm happy with my. Oh, wait a minute here. What's that? I'm going to do a lot of what's that and kind of forget that I'm on stream a bit. So just to warn everybody in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do want to point this out. So this is the chibi look that we're looking. What I did was I clicked on Arcadia Quest Tomric just to show what we're referencing as far as the chibi or the Funko Pop look.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super deformed.
Yeah. So let's go to page 2. Only 24 more pages to go. So page 2. Anything on this page that jumps out to you?
What jumped out at me? Page 2, more Arcadia Quest. Pandemic. Yes, Journey, Wrath of Demons. Everybody in the chat, if you're looking for cheap D&D style miniatures, this Journey, Wrath of Demons stuff is very good. I did a full review of this on my channel. I bought it for $20 on Amazon, $20 for the base game. This is the base game, by the way. This is not an expansion.
Really?
Journey, Wrath of Demons. You get a lot of very large miniatures, and what I did is I bought it for a review. I never got a chance to play the game. It might be really good, but it's just at the time, like I really wanted the weird corrupted keyrin looking thing. Mm-hmm. It had like these are plastic miniatures, so they're obviously not like amazing, but like the keyrin was so good. And then the huge, massive demon guys that looked like minotaurs. Like I painted up a bunch of those and I kept those dudes. So I ended up selling the base game, the PC style characters in this, and they're very large scale, but it doesn't matter because we're talking about like dragon scale. So the Keyrin dragon thing is in the exact correct scale for like a Keyrin for like D&D. So yeah, a big old guys. Yeah, look at that video on my YouTube. They are. I don't think this game was very popular, even though the miniatures are very good. You get a lot of cool like cardboard pieces that might look good on a D&D map too. So yeah, Journey Wrath of Demons, that for $16.
Yeah.
Regular price $100.
That's
which makes sense considering how much plastic is in there. I don't even know how many miniatures are in there. It says 21 miniatures.
Yeah.
So it says 21, but you have to bear in mind many of those are large miniatures. Like the regular sized little guys there would make like regular sized minotaurs in D&D, and like the one huge minotaur guy would make a great like minotaur boss character. But yeah, watch my video for my full review, but that's a pretty good deal. Right. I really like that.
All right, I'm adding that to cart, and that's going to be courtesy of Steve Zirk and the super chat. So thanks again, Steve. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it, and thanks for helping me pick this up. I'll probably do my own little. I've been doing as far as like box openings and stuff. I've just been doing them as shorts because I don't know as much as I should about things. So I figure just like a quick peek within 60 seconds is usually where I'm at on those. So that has been added to my cart. I would not have looked at that without you here. So thanks for
yeah. And again, if you're the type of guy who plays board games, maybe it's a really fun board game. I don't know. I never actually pulled out the rules. For pre-primed unpainted miniatures, if you scroll down one row, there is the WizKids unpainted miniatures, $9 for the Viking set.
Yeah,
which is impressive because it comes with a lot of set dressing stuff.
Yes, and that's exactly what I like to have in my videos. So actually, we do have a screenshot here of some of the miniatures, of course. And a lot of these I'll pick up and I just set them aside. And then when I need them for a video, that's when I'll paint them, like at the very last minute. Yeah, I've already added this to my cart. I've bought a lot of WizKids stuff, and especially their terrain pieces. So
yeah, a lot of this stuff would be very easy to paint too, because it's barrels and wooden pillars, like little what is the other thing here? It comes with a bunch of shields too.
Oh,
that's kind of cool. But yeah, it comes with benches and stuff. So a lot of this stuff you could easily just sort of like, get out like some speed paint or some contrast paint and just give it a once over with some wood paint, and then you're good to go with a lot of this stuff. It does come with a lot of the WizKids miniatures, which some people like, some people don't. I'm okay with them, but they are pretty detailed. That weird, not quite heroic fantasy 28mm that WizKids is doing now. It's not true 28mm. It's not quite the heroic miniature, heroic scale that old Hasbro D&D miniatures used to be in. So the miniatures are persnickety. Sometimes there's way too much detail. Sometimes there's not enough detail. I really like the monsters and the terrain a lot more than the PC and NPC characters in the WizKids materials. But for $9, you're getting a nice amount of stuff, including a throne, which is one of those things where it's a little bit of a pain to sculpt your own cool-looking throne. But a throne is something that comes up an awful lot in D&D games for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've included a throne in a handful of my puzzle videos as well, either background dressing or as part of the puzzle or trap. So that will probably get painted for me immediately. I like all the little shields there. I've actually got a puzzle that I want to present with shields, and the NPCs are decent too. It looks like we have a few commoners and stuff. So yeah, this is an immediate add to my cart. So I probably would have bought this at $30 if there's something in there I needed. So to get it for $9.
With the WizKid stuff, it goes on sale quite a bit.
Does it?
So a lot of people buy stuff make sure you really want it if you buy at MSRP, because it does go on sale. A lot of locations, Amazon, eBay, also like, different websites. If you just Google the set that you want and then Google shopping, you're generally going to be able to find it a lot of the times on sale for half the MSRP. So if anybody's shopping for WizKids stuff, I always say it's don't buy for full retail unless you're supporting your local store or something like that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, Immortal
Scrolling.
Origins. Immortal Origins is taking off. Hey, enjoy your lunch, my friend. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you later, buddy. All right.
All right. Scroll down next row. We got a an ice troll, which of course is unpainted, so you can paint it up as any kind of troll you like, but it does have the distinctive fur of an ice troll.
That is a pretty cool miniature. That looks like that's a large size, isn't it? That would be a large size.
Yep, yep. It's not as bulky as the old Hasbro trolls, but yeah, that is a large size miniature for $3, $3.50 actually. So again, not as uncommon as you would think for those to go on sale. So yeah. I did not pick one up, but yeah.
I'm gonna skip on that as well.
Scrolling down, got some more zombie side stuff. Just the the weird, very specific stuff. That's a $20 set, but you're only getting like 2 miniatures.
Is that just because they're like rare miniatures? Or are they important characters they're, or something? Or
they're trying to do like exactly that. They're trying to do that. The one with the Lana Herska one, apparently Elena, that doesn't look too bad actually. That's a Wrath of Kings. Oh, I see. This is that weird thing that we're doing because Wrath of Kings is another game, right?
Okay.
So they're doing like crossover stuff. So some of the miniatures like look like they're from other games.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually add that to my wish list because $2. That's not bad. But then again, I'm not going to, and I'll tell you why. It's because I have the actual Wrath of Kings miniatures that this character is cosplaying as. So I'm not gonna do that.
All right.
Did anything else on the second page hit you?
So I was interested. I looked at Omen because I figured there would be something cool in there, and there really wasn't. This Omen game.
I looked at that too.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. I don't think there was any miniatures. I think it's shoot, I don't remember now. I'm not even gonna pretend like I do there. But that was about it. Now you've got me thinking on these two Zombicide for $2, man. It just seems hard. What is this? Oh, that's a World War II tactical display. Never mind. And again, a lot of my contribution to this video is clicking on, ooh, what's that? Is I am not as familiar. Zombicide Invader. Okay, I think I'm ready to move on. Let's check out page 3. So what's up? Let's see what's next.
All right. As I'm glancing here, I see a bunch of more Zombicide stuff. Invader, the Block Apps expansion, so it's gonna be modern stuff. The Darkest Dungeon stuff, sadly, I have not seen enough. I love the Darkest Dungeon video game, and I love the aesthetic of it. Unfortunately, I don't think miniatures would fit in really great with the other stuff, and I don't know the scale. Now, this is a $200 video game on sale for $110. That seems like a good price, but for someone like me, where I was looking at it and it seemed like a lot of the monster miniatures would be amazing, but I'm gonna have to wait on that because that might be a 75% off game where it's going to be sub $50 in the future because I'm not sure how popular that game was, despite the fact there was so many people clamoring for it. Again, it seems like they kept the aesthetic of the video game, so a lot of the stuff is in slightly the artistic. I don't know what you would call it, but a lot of the stuff seems a little bit not as heroic scale as the other stuff. But there's a lot of cool monsters. But at the same time, $110 is just way too much money. For something where I can't even find pictures of them painted and scale comparisons, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it does look like you get a lot of miniatures, but I mean, you'd have to want to use most of those to be able to get your money's worth out of those. Yep, agreed.
As we scroll down further, we start to get the epic encounter stuff.
Okay.
The Serpent Folk and the Crab Archon set are for roughly half off. With both of those, you get an awful lot of miniatures, but they're very specific. So if you really want a Serpent Folk encounter or a crab person encounter.
Crab people.
Yeah, crab people. Then that would be
Wow.
interesting.
I have
Yeah,
never seen anything like that. Those miniatures are crazy
yeah.
looking.
The epic encounter stuff is very good. I picked up
Okay.
the Red Dragon during the free RPG day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like you
it's
get 21 of these in here. So 21 miniatures for $26.
yep. And some of those are going to be largest miniatures,
Mm-hmm.
very very well detailed. Yeah, I don't know. It would depend if you had a really solid idea for something like that, because this looks like a very good deal, but at the same time, Epic Encounter stuff, same thing. It goes on sale a lot.
Okay.
So unless you're like frothing at the bit to get it, then I would say hold off. Another Darkest Dungeon, that's an expansion.
Okay.
Really cool looking stuff. However, not even 50% off. And again, yeah. The Bard Sung doors, the Bard Sung stuff is
That's
very, very good quality. So if you need doors, I would consider either that set or one of the other sets that's going to be coming up.
okay. Yeah, that is one that I had my eyes on, but it's like all the same door. I don't know if I need that many of the same door.
Yeah.
Plus, I've got a ton of doors already from Warlock Tiles. I bought a set of doors from that. So at first I was like, ooh, and then I was like, ah, never mind.
Epic Encounters, another Undead Horde. So same thing, roughly 50% off.
Okay. Undead Horde. I do want to look at that. So okay. So here's our miniature. So $25. It looks like you got some interesting things there. It looks like different types of skeletons, and there's some pretty cool miniatures in that. I like that one.
I like the skeletal dog in this.
Yeah.
That's very unique. There's also a skeletal centaur, which that's something that you generally don't see a ton of. So that's pretty cool. I love the skeletal archer with his eyes completely obscured with bandages. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I think out of the three of them, this would be one that I would definitely want. Yeah, I just now seen that skeletal centaur. That is awesome.
Yeah, you can, and if you have limited painting time, you could easily just hit these with some contrast paints. Maybe even just do a bone wash over the white coloration, and then and then they'll just be okay for the table.
Yeah. Yeah, those are. I'm gonna add it to cart. I don't know if that's one that I would buy, but I'm gonna go ahead and just add it just so I remember it there.
Yeah,
just some really cool things.
And after the video, you can search Arena of the Undead Horde on Google and then hit shopping and see if anybody else has it for cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, because that as it is, it's about half off. So, pretty cool.
We got some zombie side bright orange dice.
Yeah, what are these?
They're only D6s. They're only D6s. So they look pretty cool. They have a cool little hatchet thing for the 6, it looks like.
Nice.
Or no, wait, no, that's specialized dice. Oh, okay. So this is what you gotta watch out for. These are custom dice.
Okay, so what's up with them?
You don't know unless you can Google search and figure out if they actually are a D6. Because you never know. With the custom dice like this, sometimes they're not actually D6s. They'll have some weird symbols that don't actually correlate to the D6.
I see.
So I can't tell by looking at this, and
Makes
considering
sense.
they're not the greatest, I would just not even waste the time trying to figure out if they would be okay or not.
So you know what I'm gonna do instead? For $2.50, I'm gonna add it to my cart, and I'm going to take a chance and see what it is. I'll make a little gamble there and see if there's something I like. $2.50. That's less than a coffee.
Yep. Bard Sung, excellent. I did the Kickstarter in this. I reviewed this the core game set. Really great miniatures. $100 though. That's kind of close to the Kickstarter price I paid, but I mean, it is what it is with these sets. Once the Fever, once the people don't want to miss out on the sale. Once that goes away, then the prices are going to drop dramatically. So that's only 50% off. I would not I would not recommend that, even though it is a lot of miniatures.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
It,
$100. It was 200, and that's the $100 price is close to the Kickstarter. You said.
yeah, that is very close to the Kickstarter.
Wow.
So you get like 68 miniatures, including some very large ones, including the big demon guy coming out from the ground, which is very impressive.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty cool.
but at the same time, like I know for a fact that this set is going to go on much deeper clearance because yeah.
So let me ask you this. Since I'm like looking for purposes of using them in like videos, and you've already got a massive collection of miniatures, would something like this be ideal for somebody that's just getting into the game or just getting into collecting miniatures? If they want to have uh, like an instant collection, I guess is what I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If like I didn't have anything and I want to get as many miniatures as I can because I either want to paint or I'm running games, would the $100 price tag on something like this be worth it?
If you're chomping out the bit and you can't wait for a bigger sale or you can't wait for a Kickstarter, then yeah, this would be a pretty good one. This would actually be my second guess.
Okay.
We'll have to see if my first choice for beginners is still in this sale. It might have sold out. I don't think it has though.
Nice.
But yeah, this would be a good. I mean, you can look at my video and see the miniature review, and as I take a look at like all of these, I mean, the big demon miniature. If you were to buy that like on sale, like a miniature that size, that detail, even in this, this is again this is not resin miniatures. These are not super stiff details, but even if you were to buy a miniature like that would be like $20 just for that one miniature, and you're getting that and 67 other miniatures. So it's not nothing.
Very cool. Now I won't be able to put all the links below, but just if you're interested in the ones that Caleb did a review for, first just make sure you subscribe to his channel, which is Blandco, and then you can probably just do a search for Blandco and then Bard Sung review.
Yep.
Speaking of Bard Sung, this one does catch my eye. What are your opinion on this?
Yeah, that was one of the ones I would have suggested. The Bard Sung upper levels terrain box.
Yes.
A lot of interesting terrain. A lot of stuff that you generally don't find easily. Little steps, a portcullis gate.
Yes.
The stone gates with the symbols. The little bits of scatter terrain. Stalagmites, because stalactites hang on tight to the ceiling. So stalagmites are the ones that come up from the bottom.
Nice.
And there's a couple other little things. I think those are little fires. There's rubble. Yeah. There's a leaking pipe, and there's 2 levers.
I love levers.
You can go on Black Magic Craft and learn how to craft your own levers, but honestly, it's just something that's good to have. I would say for $18 for 18 terrain pieces,
yeah,
that's not a bad deal at all.
Yeah, and this is the type of stuff that I would use in my videos anyway. Especially, I got really excited about the stairs because I don't have any stairs like that.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of levers that I use from time to time that I got out of a Skyrim set. But I'm always happy to add more levers. So and then the arcane doors look cool too.
You know what is going to be the MVP of this set?
What's that?
That I would probably use the most of? The leaking pipe.
The leaking pipe.
Yeah, it's the pipe with the little it's a pipe stick. Yeah, see that it would be a great representation of a gas trap.
Nice.
Which is, if you try to find a miniature to represent a gas trap, that'd be very difficult, frankly.
Very cool. Yeah, that one's definitely this is definitely probably going to make its way to me.
Yeah, and again, this would be very easy for you to paint. This Bard Sung stuff you can spray paint primer with no issues. So you just have to clean it off, rinse it off, let it dry completely, spray prime or polyurethane paint on some primer, and then just dry brush rock gray. And the rest you can just dry brush other colors in bada bing, bada boom. You have some stuff that's table ready. So
nice. So yeah, and it looks like a regular price on that was $40. You're getting this for a little bit more than 50% off, which is I can deal with that. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Huge shout out to some new folks in the chat. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Matt Nerdy, good to see you. And Dr. Feargood, yes, this stuff does make you want to play in person. Absolutely. 100%. And then Matt Nerdy says there is Lego knockoffs that have everything, races, weapons, and you can buy them in bulk.
Yeah, they used to, I forget the name of the one company that used to do the official. It's not Creo used to do the official D&D Lego sets, and they're no longer have that license anymore. So now they're doing like fantasy sets, which are like D&D like. And so I don't know if that's exactly what he's talking about, but you can find like a lot of those sets for super cheap, where the D&D sets are not the D&D, but the fantasy sets. There's a lot of cool stuff there. So if you want to go with Lego now, personally, I just, for whatever reason, I never liked the aesthetic of using Lego, but now that there's so many alternative options out there, if you want to go with the Lego, boy, you can make some amazing sets. And you do not, and since you're not paying the Lego prices anymore, you'll be able to get it for like not that much money. And it's, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can do some amazing stuff.
Nice. Let's go ahead and go to page 4.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, let's just try to. I'm gonna try not to talk so much.
You're fine, man. That's why I brought you on, because I'm okay. Like looking at this stuff like I don't know what I'm looking at. It's just like, and I wanted to do this, and
for the rest of these, I'm gonna tear through the. I'm gonna tear through these, and then you stop if you want to say, "Oh, I want to look this a little bit closer."
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Marvelous Miniatures Ramirez. I really like this miniature. $4, really good price for it. Large miniature, fun to paint. Got the right amount of detail. That's pretty good. The Tower of the Lich, it seems impressive. However, that's only one very complex miniature that you get for that. So unless you really want like this really intricate miniature, it's only one miniature for $22.
Wow.
Which would be a massive pain to paint. That's not something I would recommend somebody like Wally, who doesn't exactly love painting stuff.
I appreciate that.
The Legend of the Five Rings, those are custom dice. But if you're, if you ever interested in that game, I did a review of the starter box of that. That might be interesting. Cardboard Tube Samurai, I believe that's a Penny Arcade reference.
Cardboard Tube Samurai. All right,
yeah, that's another zombie side miniature.
Oh wow, okay.
That's a Penny Arcade reference from like who knows when.
That was $30? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the zombie side stuff is like they're paying for stuff. And of course, the Dragon Turtle from Epic Encounters. Spoiler alert, I did buy this.
Dragon Turtle.
Turtle. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I did buy this. Again, very complex miniature.
How big is it?
It's very big. I believe this would be considered a huge. It's 110 millimeter base.
Oh wow.
So.
And Matt Nerdy says those Epic Encounters are great, but cheap, and they have great miniatures.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not cheap at all. That's why a lot of people. Unfortunately the MSRP. The people who want to buy it for that will buy it, but then you'll be able to find this. So I really wanted the Dragon Turtle because I don't have one. So I bought this, but I think you could definitely find this for that price very easily. Another Bard Song set, this time the Distant Depths, which I was not as impressed. This one had a lot of more persnickety stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of scatter terrain. I don't understand what the flat.
Yeah.
I think this has to do with the rules of Bard Song. The flat stuff is not as impressive looking on the table in terms of like what you would actually get. A lot of there's lava pits and stuff like that, but like it's not as dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I was looking at this one earlier, I was a little bit disappointed. As excited as I was about the one that I did add to my cart for $18, I looked at this and I don't like. I might as well just use tokens for these flat things. I mean, I could print something out that would probably.
This is definitely a set that we're probably going to see for 80% off in the future. So I think that's a buy for 80% off, but for
$20,
20
yeah,
bucks,
I don't. Yeah,
it's
there's
not
nothing there
not
I
not
want.
quite a deal. Yeah. We got another union worker zombie side thing, which is another. That's one's $1, which the union Kings what Wrath of Kings thing was like the worst set because like the aesthetics of it were so terrible. Like so this is a dude who's cosplaying as one of the pig warrior guys.
Oh wow.
And the aesthetics on that faction were pretty terrible considering the rest.
They
We got
made some
another
good
set of
villains, I guess. Maybe if you need some villains, maybe.
the aesthetics looked like Disney.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so weird. Like Wrath of Kings, you had like the big werewolves
Oh wow.
and the vampires, and you had like the aesthetics of like the ancient Japanese armies and mixed in with like anime stuff. So it was super interesting. And then you had the weird Disney villain nonsense with the union workers, whatever that faction was. Right. It was the worst.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So obviously, yeah, I'm not saying I'm always right when it comes to aesthetics because that's personal choice. But you'll note that one is $1.
Yeah.
You'll note that one is $1.
What about this red dice set, the Zombicide? Is that the same as the thing that I already added to my card? That looks different.
That's the thing. I would have to do a Google search and look around and see what the heck is going on. I'm seeing a face and I'm seeing a Molotov cocktail. So I think that is a custom dice, which is not going to be useful for me. Right. So I would not buy that. We're scrolling down. We got some more random stuff. We had the Hall of the Orc King. For whatever reason, I don't like the orc aesthetics from Epic Encounters.
Okay.
And then we have the Hobgoblins box, which it seems like a very good deal, but it's really not because you only get 19 miniatures for $23, and there are a lot of duplicates, and you don't get the variety. I would not suggest that. Okay, then we have the tough one. The tough one is Time of Legends. Joan of Arc.
Okay.
Reliquary.
Ooh.
Now, scroll down, and you will see that this comes with 193 miniatures.
Holy smokes, man.
I know. It's crazy, right? So you think to yourself, oh my God, this is a jackpot. 193 miniatures for $30. I'd be stupid not to buy this.
But
unfortunately, what they don't notice here, these are tiny scale miniatures.
Oh, wow.
These are 15 millimeter miniatures. So these are very tiny, teeny tiny.
Oh yeah, that's a bummer because I was getting excited. I was like, oh, those flag bearers are cool. The cockatrice is cool.
Any of the humans. Here's the thing though. Here's the rub. If you see the big cockatrice dragon thing,
yeah,
in D&D scale, that's a huge miniature.
Really?
Yeah. I bought that separately on eBay.
Okay.
So $30, and I believe you get 3 of the big, huge scale miniatures. I was really tempted to buy this, pull out the big, huge miniatures, and then just sell the rest on eBay for whatever I would get for them.
Wow. And how many big miniatures are we getting? I mean, because some of this stuff looks cool. That Djinn holding up the carpet, is...
It for me personally, it gets ruined. What I thought I might do is cut off the little guy, because the little guy standing on the carpet is going to be in a very tiny scale. So I don't know what that Djinn... The Djinn is not that big.
No.
The Djinn looks massive, but you got to realize the guy on there is a 15 millimeter miniature and is very small. But the Griffin is very cool. The Cockatrice is very cool. I already own him though. And then the big weird
chimera looking thing
is very cool.
Hydra.
So you really only get 3 miniatures, which is 3 big huge miniatures for $30. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And then maybe you could do something with all the little guys, but here's the thing, guys. Time is money. You start messing around with this, and it just becomes very quickly a massive pain.
That just really makes me exhausted thinking of if I wanted all of these painted. Like if I bought miniatures and I had to have them painted, and I bought this and it arrived, and not only is it too small, but now I have to paint them all.
I mean that's why people do the one color armies and stuff.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Okay. Joan of
That
Arc.
I mean, it's tempting if you really like the big miniatures, because
Yeah.
I love that cockatrice guy. That's been
Yeah.
I primed him up. I'm gonna paint him soon.
Cool.
Okay, so scrolling down, we got some RPG stuff. We got some. Here's a go. Altar Quest.
Altar Quest. Okay.
Altar Quest. Ruins of Arkenspire. This ain't bad. 18 miniatures for $22, but this is not what I would recommend.
No.
You
Okay.
unless you really like the classic look of those ghouls, because those are some cool miniatures. But that's not the better deal for the Ark and Quest stuff. I'll see if that's still there, but it doesn't look like it's on this page.
If the other one's not there, would this be a good deal?
If you really like the pose, because this is the Blacklist game. Do you remember the Blacklist Games debacle?
Huh.
They are the company that basically had to give their stuff up to the shipping company, and the shipping company was like, guys, if you want this stuff from the Kickstarter, you can pay us to ship it.
Oh wow.
I did a whole video on it.
Oh, no kidding.
But Blacklist Games, a lot of people said that they were borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and there was a lot of nonsense. But what everybody said is that the miniatures were really good.
Interesting.
A slight step above the cool miniatures are not miniatures.
Wow.
Okay. Very easy to prime, really good sculpts for the most part. So yeah.
Nice.
Plus you get some translucent ghost miniatures holding an axe.
Yeah.
Which I know you like from your quest. Yeah. And then at the bottom of the fourth page, there's the Red Dragon, which of course I bought. And Village of the Goblin Chief, which I don't like the aesthetics of the goblins. Maybe you do. Again, with the orcs and goblins of the Epic Encounters, I don't like those personally. But the Red Dragon was very good.
Oh, I've not seen the Red
Dragon. So I did buy that. There's a big old mass of Red Dragon, which I didn't happen to have. And for $25, that's not bad.
And I have on the screen here pulled up the lair of the Red Dragon, which Caleb mentioned right before break.
Yep. You get one big, huge dragon miniature,
and it's already red.
Certainly. Yep. I love how companies are doing this now. They're saving you time. The base is in gold, and the dragon itself is in red, making it pretty easy to paint. However, pretty easy to paint with a miniature that's this big and this much detail is relative. Now, you could still, even a beginner could easily do a really good job on this guy just by doing some dry brushes and then giving it some red contrast paint or some red wash, and then just doing black wash over the gold coins and whatnot. Even though you only get one miniature, you do get some kobold tokens, which look okay, and you get the adventure book as well. So not bad for $25, given the size of the dragon and the quality therein.
Yeah. If you're buying this to use in a game, man, you're committing to red dragons, and your players are not going to be happy. Another red dragon?
I don't know if you could. I always like doing the thing of like, oh, this is just a very lazy dragon. So even though it looks like a legendary dragon, it still just has the stats of a young dragon.
Alrighty. Cool. What do we got next? What about this arcane circle? This bones? Is this Reaper bones?
Expensive. It's $5. It's just, for what it is, you're gonna find. I mean, I just don't think it's worth the money. I got that during the Kickstarter, and even though it looks nice, like it's just a simple little bit of scenery that's just in the, somewhat hard to paint bones material, which is not as good as material as a lot of the other stuff we're talking about.
Gotcha.
So it's I would say $5. I would say, here's the thing. Reaper Bones comes in different materials now. You got the Bones Black, which is the incredibly high quality material. So anything that's Bones Black is very good. And the Reaper Bones USA, which similar to the Bones Black, much higher quality material. Much higher quality material.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if this would be something I could use. I mean, even for $5, I'm like, can I do a puzzle or a trap with this? And I'm just drawing a blank on it right now.
It's a very specific miniature. Yeah. It kind of looks cool, but the thing is, there's so many different other options that you will stumble across for Summoning Circle. even something flat like that just is just like, a piece of terrain that's just flat, like cardboard terrain.
Yeah.
Would look more impressive.
Makes sense.
All right. Yeah.
What do we got next?
Altar Quest, but again, that's just 4 miniatures, so that's not a massively good deal. Scrolling down, the Magic miniatures from WizKids, Magic the Gathering. I don't like the aesthetics of those very much. Some of them are really cool. As I say that, I look at the werewolf miniatures, and that's something I definitely was interested in. The Shrine of the Cobalt Queen by Epic. That's pretty good. That's a set that I have. I really like that set. A bunch of very complex kobolds though, but they are in the red material, so you could easily just hit these with a black wash to bring out a little bit more of the details, and they would look okay.
Interesting. And these
you get the big overfed.
I like that guy.
Yeah, the big overfed guy. Yeah.
That's
I like
awesome.
that. I forget which creature that's, but I think it's the Balisky.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Interesting. And let's see, how many are in there? 20 miniatures. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very detailed stuff. So if you are intermediary at your painting, I think this is an excellent set.
Interesting.
We are scrolling down, and I'm looking at another set, the Goblin Czar, which, again, I don't like the aesthetics on the Goblins of Epic Encounters. A nice piece of terrain, the Hanging Cage. Something that would be relatively difficult to craft for the WizKids. You get the Hanging Cage, as well as a removable little guy in there if you want to reenact that scene from Willow. Mad Margaret is trapped in the hanging cage, then that'd be something.
I've seen that before. Okay, yeah.
I was like NPCs. Like, you just find a guy on the road that's just hanging in a cage, and he's just there for a couple weeks for his crimes, and he'll just talk to you and talk about what's going on in the area.
Yeah. I'm gonna add that one to cart just in case. I might be able to come up with something. What about we passed this one? It's another WizKids, but what's your thoughts on that that heroic statue as far as trains go?
I never liked it. Thin.
No?
Thin. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. It looked too non-statuey.
Yeah.
There's so many. I have so many cheap miniatures, and like any of them could be used to make a statue. Like, I have something that's a little bit too big or a little bit too small in scale, like that. Like, it just never. I just didn't like the looks of that heroic statue. It seemed like the parts were too thin to make it look like a good statue. It
makes sense.
If you put it on the table, people would just automatically assume it was going to come to life and attack the players.
Nice. Okay.
Anything else? On page 5.
I think that see here, the goblins are. We just talked about that. No, I think we're good on page. Oh, wait a minute. The chest loot, $30. Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, those are just tokens. I took a look at that before.
Yeah,
those are just basically tokens, so it's just oversized stuff.
Yeah. Let's move on to page 6.
Though, I mean, that looks so nice, but the thing is, just because it looks nice, I would actually have to see if maybe I could go to a game store and play in a game and see if I'd be interested.
Yeah, makes sense.
Temple of the Snake God. That has the big giant snake for $17.
Wow.
That would be, again, this is something that I would pretty much recommend to somebody who is more advanced with painting, just because of the style of the miniature. It would take it'd be very difficult to speed paint this. I love the fact, though. Guess what the best detail of this miniature is, though.
The pillar that it's crushing.
No, on the base that you can't see from this picture, there's a little Indiana Jones hat.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. Well done. Cool.
Scrolling down, Rum and Bones. That's cool miniatures or not. Like, I think that's absolutely the worst example of their miniatures. Very cartoony. I'm not a fan at all.
Yeah, those are interesting looking. I do have to say that the dude with the two pigs under his arms is a little humorous, so.
Yeah. I'm not in love with those miniatures. These snow golems, I just don't. Black Magic Craft did a video where he showed you could easily craft a snow golem using the super glue and baking soda thing. And I actually think his snow golem that he made like in 10 minutes actually looked way better than the weird aesthetic of these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I don't think I would
So
ever use anything like this.
the Abominable Yeti, that's a pretty good miniature. However, with the fur texture and stuff, that might be a little bit more difficult to paint. And I'm not really sure I like the new design of the Yeti compared to like what the Yetis used to kind of look like in other games.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's not much of a percentage off either on that. I mean, you're talking about
Yeah,
maybe saving about $4 or $5.
yeah. You could
Very
easily find
specific.
that under 10
Yeah.
somewhere around the line. And again, though, other people don't want to like sit and wait around for deals like me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's just
Absolutely.
the way it is. Epic Encounters. This is the other Epic Encounter set that I bought during the sale, the Frost Giant.
Okay.
Definitely not a miniature I would suggest to anybody who is just starting out painting.
Oh
This thing
wow.
is intensely detailed with a
Wow.
number of different like weird textures and stuff and furs. And I'm going to be painting this, but it would not. This is not something that's gonna. I'm not gonna be able to speed paint this because all the different textures and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Now, no,
Oh,
on big miniatures like that frost giant, what is the draw to them for you? Is this something that you pick up? You're like, hey, this is cool, and you get it painted, and then use it in a game, or is it just something that you think is neat and you want to have?
honestly, I like stuff that I can use in a game,
Okay.
but I also like. I'm starting to really enjoy shelf pieces now.
Okay.
I've got my little glass case there of all my
Mm-hmm.
miniatures that I'm proud of my paint jobs that I did, and I can still pull them out anytime and use them in game. But it's also nice just to see stuff that you painted up and looks nice on the shelf and
Nice.
looks interesting.
Yeah, I get it. That's cool.
Um, let's see here. We got the Alter Quest base game,
Alter
which is not bad. This is not the one that I would suggest. I don't know if the one I would suggest is in stock, but again, of all the issues that people had with Blacklist games, the miniatures were not an issue.
Really?
People really like the miniatures. However, even though this is less than half price, 76 miniatures for $85. That's it's right on the edge.
Yeah.
If this was if this was $50, then I would 100% suggest you get this, but not at this price. We'll
yeah.
have to see if the one I was looking at before is still in stock.
It's a little bit on my price range, but boy, I that terrain draws me in. I mean, we got like bookshelves and mirrors and weapon racks, which I had a puzzle that I've been looking for a weapon rack for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and then that fountain with the angel. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I look for and that I'm drawn to because, like in a lot of my videos, I'm just looking for these for background pieces or to inspire puzzles and traps. But $85 to get a bunch of
Yeah, and if you're only getting at that, you might be better off on eBay just looking up
finding
and
the
see if
pieces.
anybody's selling at piecemeal.
Yeah, yeah, because I guess that's the other thing, right? Is for these things, there are people that will, like you've done, you pull out the stuff that you want and you
Yep.
sell the rest. So if you are looking for, let's say, like this fountain with the angel, you think that'd be cool. You could just like do an eBay
And
search for Alter Quest base game,
yeah, and
and
there's entire eBay sellers that their entire thing is they just buy these sets on Kickstarter deals, take them apart, and then they sell those pieces individually.
that's cool.
Yeah. So
All
there's
right,
lots of people on eBay that are doing that. A lot of Legend of the Five Ring stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to look on page 7.
all right, let's roll on. Okay.
Game of Thrones stuff. Let me just glance on what you're looking at here. See if it's the same thing I'm looking at. Okay, it looks like it is.
Yeah.
All right. Game of Thrones stuff. This is all like trading card stuff.
Mm,
We got the premium painted figure, the adult white dragon,
$38.
which for $38, which that is getting close to half off, but it's not half off. Uh, I really, boy, I don't know. It just depends on how much you really need a white dragon that's big and massive,
Yeah.
because this would be the huge miniature. So
Mm.
it's going to be a big old miniature. Actually bigger than that. I think this is the colossal size adult white dragon.
Adult
I
white.
forget what the base size on this, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean, WizKids pre-painted stuff. You're paying a lot for a paint job that honestly Wally could probably do.
Oh man, that's saying a
That's
lot.
not an insult to Wally, but you know.
Now, do you? Because I've seen a lot of these, and we're gonna see a few more of these as we scroll on. Like I think the Emerald Dragon will be coming up. Do you own any of these? Are there any that, as far as the pre-painted ones that you were like, I absolutely have to have that?
Yeah, as you can see in the back here, I recently got the very unique stuff. Like when I see it on deep discount sale, like this guy, the Mighty Servant of Luco,
Oh wow.
which is the robot guy that you can actually put miniatures in.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, obviously, I got this for less than 50% MSRP. Jublex, the Demon Lord, he's also behind me, and the Apparatus of Quellesh, that's another one. Yeah, so I do like those, but like other than those three, there was a. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but you know, I'll give you a hint. GameStop every once in a while has D&D stuff every once in a while, and their website every once in a while they just get rid of it. So the only reason I have the Dracolich of the blue Dracolich is because that went on for deep clearance on GameStop.
Oh wow.
And
cool.
Yeah.
I think the biggest miniature I have is the purple worm. I bought that for a video and I love it. It's in the background of my videos.
I got the colossal Hasbro dragon. Yeah? Oh my god. I'm so happy when I got that. That thing is ridiculously expensive. That was like that was my white whale. I thought I was never going to be able to afford that.
Oh wow.
But luckily, yeah, I had to do the thing. I had to do the thing where I like talked to the person who was selling on eBay, like explained to them how they can ship it and stuff. Because they just didn't know anything. I was actually worried that I got scammed because I thought like there's no way that this person is just so clueless about anything. But like literally, like they just were a person who just happened across and just wanted to get rid of it and get a little money for it. So
nice.
That thing used to retail MSRP translated less than $100, and compare that to like what they're selling now. It's ridiculous. That has translucent parts. That's got like a 7-step painting process on it. Like, and compare that to like the Tiamat that they're trying to sell for like $500, $400. It's ridiculous. I saw that thing in store. I'm like, they have to be kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the WizKids stuff, unless you can get it for cheap or unless they have very specific stuff, because again, I will give them credit where credit is due. They do really well when it's like the translucent stuff, the very unique miniatures. They do well with some stuff, but for a lot of the stuff that they're charging the most money on, it's just not worth it at all.
Makes sense.
It would never be worth it.
Wolfenstein, is that anything we need to look at? Wolfenstein.
That has modern miniatures, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it says it's got a lot of miniatures, but there's no images there. What's this here though? The gravity dice. What is that? Gravity dice, $12. A D6. Interesting.
Airplane grade aluminum, apparently. Oh, so they're claiming that this is perfect center of gravity. Perfect center of gravity stuff.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, it's just like now if this was a set of fantasy dice and you got like 2 D20s, I might consider it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add it to cart just so I can research it later and see what's up with that. Cool.
I mean, it's only half price and it's a D6, so it's just I think I've got all the dice that I need in terms of like cool dice. I got like the stone D6.
Okay.
I would rather use those.
Nice. Let's move on.
Yep. More Magic the Gathering stuff, which is not the greatest. More custom dice for games as I'm scrolling down. We got the Resident Evil 2 board game, which I was looking at that. I forget which company did that. It would be interesting, and I know the miniatures are good, but it's still like more than $2. It's still like way above what I would pay.
Yeah, looks like you get about 24 miniatures in there.
It's interesting. Like I'm a super fan of Resident Evil, but I don't know if I would pay $42 for the game because I don't know. There's much better zombie games out there that you can play in terms of board games.
Well, I'm going to add this one to
I've not. This game has not set the world on fire in terms of me hearing a lot about it.
So a miniature market here that we've got a little blue notification, which I'm going to use this, and you can be notified for a price drop. So I think I'm going to do that on this. I'm going to notify also low stock if you're watching that. So they have 20 plus in stock. I'm going to add a price drop alert, and if it drops, I might come back to it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the 20 plus stock means that they probably have like 300 boxes in their store.
Yeah. So there's a good chance that I'm going to get an alert on that sometime in the future.
Yeah. All right. Page 8. Okay. So already on page 8, I'm seeing the gravity dice that we both just looked at, but this time they're purple.
Oh.
So here's the thing. That's going to increase the price quite a lot.
Also see Rivers in the chat. Hey, thanks for joining us, Rivers.
Hello, Rivers RPG channel. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah. So we got the D&D premium painted miniature, the Druid for $5, which the premium pre-painted stuff, $5. I mean, I would honestly be tempted it was $3, but it's just like I already have so many Druids that I have painted up myself. It's just like for me, not for me.
Yeah, see, I think this, as far as like the premium painted ones like this, I think this should, I mean, I could be wrong, but I see this more as player geared. Like if I was a player and I was playing a Druid and I wanted my own miniature, and I didn't like the paint, I would get something like this. Like, hey, here's my dude. But yeah, as far as the DM having an NPC come in, I wouldn't be wanting to put that into there by any means.
Yeah. As we scroll down, we can see the Tome Tapper, and we can see the giant frost skeleton, which is not the greatest discounts. The giant frost skeleton is one of those very popular WizKids stuff, though, because like there's not really that many giant skeleton miniatures out there.
Gotcha.
There's a lot more now, so even though that's not a great discount, that is some people are looking for that miniature. So. And you look at the Tal'Dorei pre-painted rock figure for $58, which is just aesthetically, that's not me. It's an ember rock, so it's supposed to be brightly colored and stuff. I think of a rock. That's not what I think of in my head.
Yeah. And
$58, to anime. So what we're going to want to click on is the Alter Quest stretch goals box.
Okay. Yeah, see, I would have just zoomed right past this thing.
That is the one that would be my number one suggestion.
Okay, so we got $60.
Yeah, and scroll down and tell me how many miniatures you get in this.
135 miniatures.
So we are less than 50 cents per miniatures, and this is Blacklist Games, so this is the quality plastic that people were totally okay with. You get a bunch of miniatures that are like, some of them are not the greatest, but you get a big old bunch of terrain stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah,
like we got a cage.
And I absolutely love some of the enemy miniatures too, like the little skeleton guy sitting down, the little zombie guy sitting down. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This cool. I think this is, if anybody is looking for just starting out their collection. Stretch goals. This is what you're going to want to search during a sale, because this is just the miniatures, and so you're going to get the maximum amount of money. So you're not paying for the game. You require the base game to play the game. However, what this is mostly is focused on extra miniatures for the game.
Wow.
So even though you do get a bunch of cards and a bunch of other stuff, which you may or may not use, you're going to get a heck of a lot of miniatures. And you can go and search this out. And there's a couple really good stretch. You can look up this stretch goal box and you can see a bunch of unboxings where people take it apart and stuff. Nice. This is one of the ones I might actually buy this after we're done with this
I just added it to my
Yeah.
cart. It says 32 traps.
Yep.
I'm like 32 traps. All right. I've got to see.
Yeah,
what
and
that is.
if you click, you can see that one of them is the classic bear trap. Trap.
The cage. Is that what that
No,
is?
no, the bear trap. Just
Oh.
the little thing that you step on.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's super cool.
The love stuff like that. Love stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm adding that one to my
And like
cart.
I said, with all the issues that people had with Blacklist games, the actual miniature quality wasn't really. I mean, that wasn't it. You know.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Good eye on that.
Yeah.
I just zoomed right by it. I didn't even see it.
Yeah. I mean, what
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah.
How could anybody know this stuff unless they
Yeah.
waste a inordinate amount of time like I do?
Awesome. All right.
We start to see the Dark Souls stuff, which is very interesting. It depends on how much of a fan of the Dark Souls you are. The MSRPs on the Dark Souls stuff, I don't know if it's quite representative of like the quality of the stuff because it's like $60 MSRP. Definitely not that. I am considering getting the Gaping Dragon one, because that's a good sale. Hive of the Ghoulkin. I don't remember this set from Epic Games. I guess if you need super deformed, ghoulish miniatures, it would be good. But aesthetically, I have seen so many different like undead creatures that kind of have this weird like Warhammer style to it that I've seen cheaper.
This doesn't interest me at all as far as miniatures are concerned.
On to page number 9. And I'm gonna double check.
Yeah, we're off just a little bit, but I'm following along with you.
Yeah. So the Super Fantasy Brawl Army Painter set. That might be something that could interest you as a new painter if you want to increase the number of stuff you have, because it comes with 3 brushes and 14 acrylic paint colors.
Wow.
Which is not bad. Now, I was trying to look this up to figure out if these are the tiny little things. I don't think this is. I think this is the actual normal size, which is however many ounces this is. The half ounce, what is this, milliliters? 18 milliliters. So if you need extra stuff, then this is not that bad because you get 3 different Army Painter brushes, which is not bad, and 15 colors of paint, which is good if you don't have any paint.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get, what else is here? There's a bunch of other just board game stuff, which
noticed a lot of that.
Another Pathfinder deep cuts, which is oh yeah, the one thing that I did get the Yashima Legend of the Icy Peaks expansion.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
And I got that for $150 because of the tiny little monkey guy.
Oh, the one holding the lantern?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
I got just because that looked like such a goofy little miniature.
Oh, it's only $1.50 for that?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm not interested in the game at all. But it looked like the 2 plastic miniatures, the Asian whatever you call the lute. There's a specific name for that instrument, but that's a really cool looking instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like the ice magic user person.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. But honestly, I had to go the little guy.
Yeah,
hanging out next to the lantern. That's why I bought that.
Yeah,
I took a gamble on that.
Yeah, you convinced me on that. $1.50, regular price, $30. I mean, that's interesting.
The other one had the evil devil guy and stuff. I'm not sure about those miniatures. Now, the reason I didn't take a gamble on that too is because I got the resin version of the evil smoke demon guy.
Gotcha.
And that seemed like it was a much better deal. And I don't know what the plastic one would look like. It's just, you have to gotta play it by ear. What kind of, some sculpts just don't look good in the plastic material.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We scroll down. We have the incredibly expensive Icons of the Realm Archdevil set,
Wow, 50
which
bucks
is,
for that.
yeah, it's very expensive. Uh,
For
and I
3 of
would
them. Yeah.
say it's just not worth the price. However, booster pack Omens, City of Lost Omens from Pathfinder.
I was eyeballing that. Yeah. I mean, those.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad price. I mean, it's a real sad state of affairs that the pre-painted stuff used to be reasonably inexpensive, and now you have to wait kind of longer and longer between sales.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I always suggest people to look up. If I just Google search City of Lost Omens and then I put,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this the first thing that comes up is Mini Gallery. That's the site you want to go to actually see what miniatures are on there, because Miniature
Yes.
Gallery actually goes and takes pictures of the actual miniature, which D&D WizKids, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't.
Don't they list them by rarity as well?
They do list them by rarity
Yeah,
as well.
that's extremely helpful.
Yeah. And I always, I mean, it'd be awesome if you pulled that green dragon that's in there, or any one of the cool like statues, or the Armageddon orb.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think
there's also some cool stuff in there, but again, WizKids pre-painted. A lot of these are medium creatures, which is like,
yeah. I'll probably pick up a couple. I always like to open up stuff like that, just like, oh cool,
The Tengu Rogue, though, I bought that from a secondary seller. The Tengu Rogue actually looks pretty good.
Nice.
For a Kenku miniature. And we're back to scrolling here. Pendulum of the Dead, the Hellboy. Okay, so yeah, the Hellboy stuff. I'm going to take a quick look at that. Even though it's $40, there's no way I'm buying it. Yeah, there was like a Hellboy miniature set that had a bunch of miniatures. It was just miniatures.
15 miniatures.
This one has only got like 15 plastic miniatures for $40. That's not really a great deal unless you're super into Hellboy. But the Hellboy miniature set is something to look out for, because that was only miniatures, and that showed up for a good price a couple times. I never got a chance to buy that. The Street Fighter game, I believe, another Blacklist miniatures thing.
Oh wow. Are those they're pre-painted? Oh,
no.
85.
Nope.
Oh, they're not?
They're not.
85 bucks, man. I want Ryu to be painted already. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh no, it is. They say they're pre-painted. However,
are they?
Oh, this is a good lesson though. If you look at this, this is not what you're buying. This is a digital render of what the pre-painted stuff should look like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you get the you get the 6 pre-painted miniatures. They're not going to look this good at all.
No.
This is a digital render of what a colored thing would look like, and it's not going to look that good. And I really don't like the industry practice of just having the colored in digital renders and then saying, "Oh, this is what you're going to buy." No, that's not what you're going to buy.
Yeah. The game looks kind of fun though. It reminds me of there's a game that I had in the 80s. It was a G.I. Joe game, and it reminds me of very similar to that. Interesting. Not $85. Interesting, but interesting.
Indeed. We're on to page 10.
Nice.
I'm seeing the same stuff as I'm scrolling down. The Magic the Gathering things. The Inspector miniature actually kind of looks cool, because they have the cool. I don't know what era that is. I don't know if that's Victorian era tricorn hats.
Yeah, Victorian, colonial.
Yeah, I really like hats like that. So, and then the giant spider from Epic Encounters for $25, which is, I mean, it's a giant spider. I mean, it's just kind of gross looking, but there's so many giant spiders out there for miniatures that you can find that $25 is just like, I mean, unless you really like that sculpt, which I did not.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the spider on that one. Maybe that's is that an in stock thing? Maybe I'm not looking at in stock spider.
Spider Tyrant. You just scrolled by it.
Spider Tyrant. We'll just do this. Fine. Spider. Oh, there it is. Oh, that Epic Encounters. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go into that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
The remainder of the page here, we got the Nolzier's Pentadrome, which is cool. I kind of like that. I think I got the pre-painted one for cheap. Swamp of the Hydra. That's a really good big old Hydra miniature. But again, you know, it's only about 50% off, and I think that unless you really want the miniature, you can wait.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry for $25, which is I saw these miniatures. I was not impressed with the quality of them. I don't know what company. Oh, this is Steamforged Games. I'm really surprised. Maybe I was looking at the wrong one. Steamforged Games generally has good stuff, but they have the weird bases, which are, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
For $25, definitely not.
No.
More Bones Terrain, the Ruined Temple, which is too busy for my liking.
Yeah, $10. I mean, I've got enough pieces I could already that I can make my own little scene like that. Yeah.
You could put it on a map and then have more play space, you know?
Yeah.
So on to page 11.
Also, Brian Swift, hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you here. Says those are some of the worst pre-painted sets. Not sure which one you're thinking there, but cool.
Matt Nerdy says, question, how do you find rare miniatures, ones out of production? Is the website that specializes in that.
Ooh,
generally
question,
speaking, Matt. For the metal websites, there's a number of websites, Lost Miniatures Wiki, that catalogs those. For other sets, it just depends on the set. Sometimes for anything that's not like 80s pewter, there might be websites that specifically some fan created to like catalog like what's going on. Like the Miniatures Galley that we were just looking at. That's just a fan site. So any of the WizKids stuff, the only, it's just some fan who has it specifically organized and cataloged what is in what set. But for how do I find rare miniatures, I just look it up keyword searches on eBay, and I look out for misspellings and people that are selling stuff for a cheap price.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do too. You can also watch like Facebook Marketplace. It's not as good as it used to be, but every once in a while you could see someone selling their collection. It's usually probably not the person that collected the items that was selling the collection.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what they're what they were selling there. So that's also another place to watch is like your Facebook Marketplace if you're on that.
Yeah, people like just
Yeah,
I had that whole saga where I found those really expensive chef knives at Goodwill.
Yeah.
And people accused me of stealing them from a chef on a bus. They made up this entire story that I stole the chef knives from a chef roll on the bus.
Oh, wow.
But it's just like, people don't understand. Like, just sometimes, people move on and they don't keep all their stuff, and the person just doesn't have room for it, so they just want to get rid of it. So that's what happens. All right. And again, tell me to slow down, but we're trying to zoom through here.
Yeah, this caught my eye. Have you ever seen this before? The Folklore Crafting and Recipes card pack. What is that?
No, I think did I look at that? Yeah, Folklore the Affliction is one of those weird games that seems aesthetically really cool, but like I don't know anything about it. It doesn't really seem to have. Some Folklore sets have miniatures. I think I've seen them sold. It's like I don't even know how you would.
Well, I mean, even if it had like cards in there that like gave like magic or spell effects with like unique like lists of ingredients or something, it might be cool. I'm gonna add that to cart. Maybe just do a search on that later. Maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, cool.
I'm on page 11 still. I am as well. Down. I'm looking at the sadly the Journey Wrath of Demons, the Coffin expansion pack has not gone on clearance, which is odd, but we'll wait a clearance price on that. The bridge set is actually something. The Journey Wrath of Demons bridge set is something that I bought before. Those are really nice bridges. However, I've seen it for way cheaper than $8. I would say that's a $5. That's a $4 or $5 price thing. you know, $5 would be 75% off, and you could wait until like $80 because, like, you know, it's just not that popular of a game. It's very nice bridges. So if you need bridges, maybe $8 is your, you know, what you need to spend, but it's going to be cheaper than that.
I'm going to put a price drop alert on that for myself.
The Epic Encounters, the Barrow of the Corpse Crawler, another set that has a very big miniature, which is clearly a purple worm alternative miniature, I would say. And again, big, very detailed. I wouldn't recommend anybody who's new to painting buy something like this. Resident Evil board game, another expansion from that. I'm on to page 12.
Me too.
Joan of Arc cards. We got the Legend of the Five Rings book. We got the Corrids. Now, something like this, $3 for a very unique D&D specific miniature. Maybe this is something you're interested in if you have a very specific thing. I don't know how many people use.
I've never run a Corrid in my game.
Incredibly specific. There are very weird D&D specific monsters that are, research up the Corrids. Very interesting stuff, but not interesting enough for, I don't think, to spend $3 for a miniature you might use once. Here's the one that I was on the very bottom. The World of Smog, Rise of Moloch, the Embassy expansion. I'm turning around on this one. I don't know if I want to buy this or not.
Okay. What's the reasoning? Oh, wow. What are those?
Yeah, they have the big, huge, weird, like fleshy thing that's a tripod thing, which has just weird, like, mechanical parts and like parts of like a grate stuck into it. And then you have the weird mutated constables and stuff. But then all the other ones are just goofy, and I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't know what I would use this for. I mean, maybe like if you wanted to like simulate a parade or something. I don't even know.
I do a dungeon crawl called Wonder Mazement, which is a World's Fair in Fantasyland gone completely terribly wrong. And I think these miniatures would be perfect for that. However,
just so weird.
$12 just for one miniature that I really like.
Yeah.
I think I could sculpt something that could look quite similar. And it might be a little bit more specific to what I'm looking for. Because again, on first glance, but then you kind of look at it, and it's just like, oh, it's just got the steampunk gears for no reason thing, which I'm not a fan of. So aesthetically, this is great. I feel really bad because I bought one of these sets for like super cheap, and I have not used any of the miniatures in it. That's on the pile of boxes to be resold on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Fairgood says homebrew carnival monsters. Yeah, I could see those for those. Matt Nerdy says, show us the giant snail by Epic Encounters. I don't think we've seen that yet. Have we seen that?
I didn't notice.
Yeah. Well,
is there a giant snail?
If we see it, we'll definitely pull it up and.
I would have made note if there was a giant snail by Epic Encounters. I would have made note.
Yeah. Well, if we see it, we'll definitely pull that up.
So page 13. D&D Encounters Icewind Dale pre-painted Chardelin dragon, a cool miniature. The retail price on this is crazy. Like that's just
$130. Yeah.
I think that's basically this. I feel so bad as we scroll down because I noticed that you used the Emerald Dragon as part of your thumbnail.
Yes.
Were you interested in this dragon at $60?
No. I wanted to put something on the thumbnail that was recognizable, I guess. And that was I was very disappointed when I seen this. It doesn't even because these are the kinds of things when I go to my local game store that seem like they're always there. Is these big boxes with these dragons in it, and this one because I love green dragons and things like that. So I was like, man, this would be really cool. And it doesn't look like there's any detail.
Do you want to know a secret?
Sure.
This was on sale during Amazon Prime Day for $45.
Oh wow!
You could easily find this thing for $45.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you just have to wait a little while, but $60 I think is just too much.
Yeah,
and the MSRPs on these are crazy. I have not seen this thing in person. I may or may not have bought it for $45 on Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see what I think if I did not purchase this and to review it on my channel.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd be interested in getting a large adult dragon miniature like this, but I'm not going to
that no,
spend that much. It's
that's huge. That's
yeah.
not large.
Oh
No,
well.
I have the large version that I painted up.
Mm,
So I painted up the thing, and yeah,
yeah.
the
I mean,
one
it's
that I
cool.
painted up looks really nice on the table. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one was also $14 for a large
Oh wow.
Emerald Dragon. Yeah,
Yeah.
so scrolling down the Evil Dead comic book for 25 cents. That's an interesting weird thing. I don't know why they got like so many of those left over, but if you
Yeah.
want an Evil Dead comic book for 25 cents,
There you
then
go. Throw it in.
there you go, baby. We got some more stuff. Oh, in paint. I like it how they have individual paints on sale because every once in a while you really like a specific color.
Mm.
And so it's good to grab those. I'm scrolling down slowly. You got some Rune Wars dice, which are only useful for Rune Wars. The Chaos Ball expansion. This is a good thing of like, this is another one that I bought for $3 and I wish I hadn't.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's got 14 miniatures, including a bunch of werewolf miniatures, but the werewolf miniatures are, yeah, it's not worth $3. The werewolf miniatures are too goofy looking. And it's just, this whole Chaos Ball stuff, even though if you think the miniatures might fit in with it just doesn't fit in with a fantasy setting at all.
Gotcha. Oh, there it is. I was spelling chaos wrong. There we go. Interesting.
On to page 14.
Yeah, they'll probably be far further in between now since we went from bestsellers down to what people don't want.
Dark Souls, Father of the Abyss. That's a pretty cool miniature. $30 though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Formula P3. Love P3 paint. I actually did order the ochre paint myself.
Okay.
That's a very good paint. We got some random stuff as I'm scrolling down here. Nothing's catching my eye. The D&D Icons of the Realms, the giant mammoth. That's a miniature that I was kind of interested in getting when it first came out, but I'm like, there's just not enough like times when I can use it. I got like one of the little mammoths, and I think I would get much more use out of that than the big giant mammoth.
Wow. Yeah, and this is amazing to me because I actually have a frost giant miniature, and knowing the size of that and seeing how small it is on top of this mammoth really puts it in perspective for me.
Yeah, it's a big mammoth, but then like, it's going to take up a lot of shelf room for pre-painted miniature.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, oh, well, am I ever going to really use that?
Right.
And like I said, not even 50% off. If it was 75% off, maybe. We're going to see, now that we're getting further into the list, we're going to see a lot of the Critical Role pre-painted stuff.
Okay.
Personally, I think that the one set might be interesting. It is not this set.
So $28 on this one, and you get looks like some merfolk, some weird monsters. Even it looks like a dragon, some type of Modron, maybe.
Yep. I found this pre-painted dragon for like $3 on eBay.
Okay.
And it's got the translucent stuff. I'm more than happy with it. However, these are Matt Mercer specific stuff. So
yeah, I'm gonna put a price drop alert on that one. Just if it gets any more, maybe I'll think about
it. We got the Dark Souls Last Giant. We got the Dark Souls Chariot. I'm on page 15 now.
Yep.
Some more P3 paint, which is always nice. We got a carrying bag, but this thing is not discounted much at all. It's $35, which if I'm going to buy a carrying bag, I'm definitely going to want one that's like super reduced 90%. Scrolling down, we got more Chaos Ball stuff. We got more Rum and Bones stuff, which I'm again, not a really fan of. So nothing on page 15, which caught my interest. On to page 16. A Zombicide novel.
All right.
I'm not sure how great the lore is behind that. We got another set of painted miniatures, which is only interesting because they have a goat miniature that can have a dwarven warrior on the goat, which I think is pretty cool.
This is the Critical Role one.
Yeah, Critical Role,
Yeah.
Characters of Tal'Dorei
Yeah,
set
set
one.
one. Yeah. Yeah. That's. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're a fan of the show, I guess this would be cool because it looks like there's a couple that I recognize,
Yeah,
and I don't.
yeah.
I'm not even a huge fan of the show.
Critical Role Monsters of Tal'Dorei set two has some very nice miniatures, which I like. But at the same time, you know, I love the flaming skeleton guy,
Yeah,
but
that's
again,
that dude's pretty cool.
yeah, and the big tree guy. This is actually my favorite set. Sadly, it's also a set that is not 50% off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think that some of these might be interesting to me if that like that Etten and stuff if they're cheaper price, but I'm not going to spend $38 on stuff that I may or may not even use.
mm-hmm.
And just to address chat real quick, Brian says the Pathfinder WizKids ones were some of the worst painted. He thought
It's always like a Russian roulette,
Hmm.
whether or not you're going to get a halfway decent. It's also it's not Russian. It's just roulette. It's
Just
paint
roulette.
roulette, whether you're going to get a decent paint job or not.
Yeah.
There was always bad paint jobs.
Yeah, and I also
Funny
find
stuff.
this. I find this interesting that the Critical Role stuff is on what page 16 now, and again we sorted this by bestsellers, so
Yeah,
it doesn't look like
it's
very
not.
many people bought
It's
it.
not. It's not cheap. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Anybody who really wanted to buy it bought it full price,
yeah.
and there's not that many people want to buy it 50% off. That's just how it is. I'm on to page number 17. Tile sets for Besieged, which is not very useful.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Dead of Winter. That's one of the good zombie games. And that's just a trade paperback. That's so weird that they're selling like
Books.
books.
Yeah, that is weird.
And another one, Marvel novel, Ghost Rider, Witches Unleashed. I don't know if that's worth $8.
Mm.
We got the Pathfinder Battles premium painted the Old Tree Man, which is a very cool miniature, but pre-painted for $60. No,
Yeah, that's
not going to
that
happen.
is way out of my league. I mean, yeah, he looks cool, but man.
Yeah.
Yep. And then same with the one right next to it, the Icons of the Realm. I mean, this would be something that I would pick up. The Yawning Portal set.
Here's the thing: you could get like some secondhand Hearst Arts cast stuff. I made my bar scene with Hearst Arts stuff, and you know that it's there's so many different bar scenes you can buy for cheap.
Yeah, I've got so much of that stuff already that this would just be a bonus pickup, but not at that price. No.
Yeah. The Dark Souls Black Dragon, which looks really cool, but might be an incredibly pain to paint.
Yeah.
Because you would have to paint it black to make it look cool, and it's kind of difficult to paint like just the black thing. So it's got nice little details and whatever, but you know, again, I think these are great prices if you're a huge fan of Dark Souls. I have not painted up any of my Dark Souls stuff. I actually reviewed the Dark Souls stuff when it first came out, and I thought they were really awesome, but I have not painted them up yet. So that says a lot about my interest in Dark Souls stuff. But the Gaping Dragon is definitely one that I might buy. I don't know if that's still on sale or not. As we go on to page number 18, I'm scrolling all the way down.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the Solomon Kane Castle of the Devil expansion, originally $29 on sale for $8. Sadly, only 3 miniatures. And it's difficult to find the scale on these. So even though it's a very cool flesh miniature, you can find weird body horror miniatures like there are a dime a dozen on eBay.
Yeah.
So not anything I'm interested in. The Gaping Dragon might have sold out. We're on page number 19. Random stuff.
A lot of random stuff.
More novels. Xavier's Institute First Team for $4. Oh, yeah, here we go. The Noel Zier's Marvelous Unpainted Miniatures. Their gargantuan team out for $200.
Oh,
what a steal.
Gosh.
What a steal. Like, that miniature I don't know. There's so many, like, toys and stuff, like McFarlane stuff, that, like, is, like, half the price. And it's, like, it's just as well detailed. So it's weird that they're claiming that these MSRPs are correct, and I don't know about that.
Yeah, and the
I
fact
mean,
that
here's all credit to WizKids when it comes to the unpainted stuff. I think a lot of the price ranges, they're very good. When they originally came out, that was like they finally met the need in the marketplace for unpainted miniatures. However, now 2023, so many companies now are opening up and doing this stuff. I just did a review of Wildspire miniatures, and yeah, we're starting to get to the point where like there's real alternatives available. We got another Dark Souls, the Vort of Boreal Valley, which is I don't think I ever beat him in the game. We're going on to page 20.
Yeah, I didn't think we were getting through all the pages, but this is getting a lot thinner here at the end.
Yeah, we'll just go through. Armada Strigoli. That I'm just mentioning that because the base game, which sold out in this sale, the base game had a bunch of werewolves that were dressed up as clergymen, which was just a bizarre miniatures. So if you like bizarre miniatures, there was that. This was a bunch of seductive snake lady people and a big, huge snake person, but for $10, not a good enough deal for just the miniatures.
No.
There was Hunt the Ravager, which didn't have anything of interest in terms of miniatures, though it did kind of look like a cool game. The Icewind Dale map set 2, which at $22 is just still too expensive for my taste, even if you are doing specifically the Icewind Dale thing. Not that great.
What about if we scroll back up a little bit, the Black Rose Wars? Is that the one you just mentioned? Did you mention that the familiars?
No, I missed that. Oh yeah, I completely missed that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going through a tornado right now, so I'm distracted. I'm trying to do my best. I'm really trying to do this, but no. I bought a set of these. I bought a set of the Hydra ones because they looked good. Now, these are the Griffins, which look really goofy.
Yeah, they look cartoonish.
Yeah. The Hydra ones looked cute, but not quite as cartoonish.
Yeah.
So even though it is, $3.33 per miniature, the Hydra ones look good enough that I pulled the trigger on that because I know I wanted to paint them up and have little baby Hydras, because like that would just be hilarious to have the little baby Hydras then have the big mother Hydra come in. But yeah, no. I mean, again, I'm not seeing these miniatures in person, but at $10, I would have to wait until I actually got a chance to see some really good pictures of them. And I went with the Hydras because the Hydras seemed more interesting of a sculpt.
Yeah, makes sense.
We got some Halvesies dice set, Da Vinci, which don't look that bad, but for $7, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I would say wait for less than half price.
Yeah.
Lucky page 21. And I'm already seeing the easy resin syringe and mixing nozzle. I don't know. I bought one of those so long ago. There's no way that resin is still good. It's on clearance for $4. I bought it like 2 years ago when it was on clearance for $5. I don't know if this is old stock or not. I don't know. Yeah. They probably tested one out to make sure it hadn't gone completely bad, but I don't know how. I bought this before the Dollar Tree started to stock the 2-part resin, not resin stuff, the 2-part epoxy stuff.
Right on.
So, and then of course I found out that they sell the UV cure resin super cheap at Michael's sometimes too. So I've never even tested this out. I would say probably avoid that unless you've used that specific product before, because I can't imagine you can have resin in tubes that's been sitting in the warehouse that long. It's still gonna be fresh. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems weird. Scrolling
down, bunch of books. Oh, we got I saw this Wild Bond, the Witchlight Swamp Glass Balloon. I thought this was an amazing idea for a miniature. However, in practice, I looked at it in the store and I was like, no, it just doesn't. Some reason it just doesn't look that good, and it's just like very limited use. And it's just like I would almost rather just print something up and just have a piece of cardboard to represent the hot air balloon on the game cable. I mean, honestly, I would do that. Um, yeah, same thing for all these. Oh, there's the Gaping Dragon. Gaping Dragon is still on sale.
Gaping Dragon.
It's got a bad review. Yeah, this Dark Souls board game Gaping Dragon expansion.
Let me go back here. Gaping Dragon. Oh,
Uh,
there it is. Oh, wow.
yeah, he's 3 out of 5 reviews saying that the assemblage was difficult.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a really cool boss. So, yeah. And you were speaking of dice. Here was the dice set that tempted me right next to the Dark Souls, the Heavy Metal D6 set. The Kappa.
Yeah, get the Kappa.
Oh,
it's got the ampersand and everything.
Yeah, these are official D&D D6s from
Yeah, you know, I find this kind of funny because you mentioned GameStop earlier, and I picked up the what was it? I think it might be the Avernus set. I can't see it from here, but I picked up a couple of them for $18, which includes 4d6, 2d20, and everything else. Just
now, were those metal dice?
Yeah. Here, let me grab them.
I got the metal dice set that was also at GameStop. I got that on clearance, plus coupon back in the day.
These here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the set that I got.
Yeah, so that was I got those for $18 at GameStop. They've gone up since. I bought two of them, and then I went to buy some more of them, and now they're up to like $30.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely got them on like deep clearance.
Yeah,
I got them for like whatever. I forget what price I paid. It definitely was not $30.
Yeah. Ever since I think you introduced me that glass cabinet that you have. You did a video on that, and then I went and got my own at GameStop, and then ever since then I go to GameStop all the time, just walk around.
Yeah. Oh man, I finally was able to find a box big enough to list what? The Legend of Dritz swords.
Oh wow!
I went to the GameStop and I saw the Legend of Dritz swords out there, so I bought it because it was like 50% off the already reduced clearance price.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my god! And then I realized with horror, I have no box that is big enough to ship this in.
Oh man.
Man. So it's been sitting in my place for like 2 months. Finally, what I saw yesterday, somebody had thrown out a furniture box.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut that down. And so I finally have that listed on eBay. Somebody gave me a pretty good offer price for it. So I think I'm going to sell it. Despite the shipping being insane. That's the thing about selling stuff on eBay nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the shipping. No, it's not just everything. It's the shipping is insane nowadays.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might be happy enough with the price somebody offered me. Anyways, so yeah, I mean these are from Ultra Pro. They're good dice, but I mean $11. It would depend how much you really like copper dice.
Yeah,
frankly.
Yeah, I mean if you're rolling these for sneak attack or fireball all the time, buy a couple sets and have at it, I guess. But
some people have very nice tables too.
Yeah,
you gotta watch out for that. All right. So, and then we got some Dark Heaven Bones. Now, you'll note that these are just regular Bones miniatures. So, $6 for a regular Bones miniature.
Yeah.
If you really like the sculpt, that'd be good. But, I mean, Reaper does have very good sales. And on their website, if you buy like $35 worth of stuff, you get a free miniature with your order. So,
buy direct from them.
It might be worth it just to buy direct. Especially if you are not seeing stuff on offer. On to page number 22. Some Monster Apocalypse stuff, but that is hit or miss. So I think we're going to not go with that this time. We got some mouse pads. I still have my ancient, very dirty mouse pad. So I did not need to get one.
I ended up taking, since I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, the play mats that you would get from Magic the Gathering. I ended up just rolling that one on my desk, and now it serves as a mouse pad, and my keyboard and everything sit on it. So,
on to page 23. And at the top of page 23, I'm seeing the train crate for the battlefield. Now, this is one that I've also reviewed on my channel and that I got from the Kickstarter.
Oh,
This
40
is
bucks
what I
though,
like
man.
to refer to as the fence one, though.
Yeah.
So not particularly a great deal for $40 because basically this is primarily
No.
fences.
Yeah.
And it depends if you have something very specific, because you can find cheap toy fences at the dollar store. You can find cheap toy fences a lot of places,
Yeah.
and there's not going to be a massive difference. And I mean, you get a cool tent, which is very nice. I love the tents, but $40 for this is not the greatest.
I'd hesitate at 10 on this, honestly. I mean, that's just nothing I'd really use. Hmm.
I use a lot of tents in my games. So
Mm.
as we scroll down, we see a lot of Neutron dice sets,
Yeah.
which are, I mean, if you really like the look of them, I guess maybe $7 would be a good price.
Yeah, I really wish they'd throw an extra D20 into these dice sets. I've gotten spoiled off of some of them that I've bought where I get two D20,
Yep.
and so now I kind of look away from the ones that don't include that extra D20 for me.
We got replacement mixing
Oh,
nozzles for the easy resin plunger,
oh my God.
which again I have had those for 2 years and I have not tried those yet.
Oh wow.
Maybe after this, maybe I'll pull those out and just give it a shot and see
See what
if the
happens. Yeah.
resin is like going to be completely done. So that's page 23, and that is all. Peaky Blinders. That's a awesome TV show. I don't know anything about the game. I've not heard anything about the game until I've seen it right now. That seems like an interesting game for $9, but I mean, I would rather watch the TV show, I think, and then play one of the board games, which is highly rated, I
Yeah.
think. And on the last page, we have more novels, including one for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why. Why do they stock a Watch Dogs Legion novel? Come on, you guys are supposed to be board games and stuff. That is not at all. They stock. There's two of them. You have multiple Watch Dogs Legions novels,
Mm.
and they're still $7. Those are not 90% off. Come on. Oh my
Wow.
God! All right,
We did it,
so
man.
that we went through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Wally, do you have any other questions or items that you want to talk about?
I don't. So I'm going to pull up my cart, so you can't see my cart there. But if I were to buy everything that I just like, yeah, I'll check it out later, or put it in a thing, it looks like I've got $161 in my shopping cart. So obviously, I am not going to be buying $161 worth of stuff. But
I would right now. I take off those zombie side dice because those are not going to be useful at all.
Yeah. Yep. So those. All right, so those are gone. So that saved me $250. So what I'm going to do, and I'll probably take off those gravity dice, but I want to look them up and see what's up with those, because I do like to collect dice as well. So what I'm going to do is over the next few hours is I'll probably just go through and rank everything that I want into a price that's right for me. So, but those are the items I'm interested in.
Got to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Again, everybody, I'm sorry. I'm in a tornado situation. I'm in danger at this very moment, but I have to recap. Thrifty Steve in the comments. Thrifty Steve says recap some of the good finds. That's what we're doing right now. He is showing off. I honestly, and this is my personal opinion, Journey Wrath of the Demons for $16. That is the absolute best deal in this sale. If you're looking for pure miniatures, amazing deal. Absolutely amazing deal.
Yeah.
Journey Wrath of Demons. You get the weird Keyrin guy. As well as a bunch of other miniatures, but honestly, just for the Minotaur style looking miniatures and the Keyrin miniature, $16 is an absolute steal. This game retailed at $100. And yeah, these are plastic miniatures, but they're very good quality. If you look at my review video on my channel, you can see it comes with this really cool base, and I had a blast painting them up. A lot of fun.
What else are you excited about?
Well, let's go. I'm going to take a look at my account. I'm going to list off what I got when the sale first started.
Yeah. What one was it that had all the traps? Was it the Altar Quest? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
So that's actually
Altar Quest. Altar Quest would probably be my second choice of everything that's left over on this sale. Altar Quest, it's got like 130 miniatures for $60. And a lot of those are some really interesting terrain, including a big old removable base cage, which I'm a sucker for stuff like that. I love interactable stuff. There's some fountains. There's some astrolabes, all sorts of cool stuff. Before you buy it, there are definitely a bunch of unboxings of this set that you can find online. I would go through and look at those because you'll be able to take a close look at all the miniatures and see if you want. This is by Blacklist Games. This is the company that had a lot of controversy because of the shipping issues. However, the controversy generally said, but the miniatures are good. And it was a real shame. So a lot of people are still selling the Blacklist Game stuff for full price. So even though this is not technically 50% off, this is probably the best deal for somebody who doesn't have any miniatures, but they want a bunch of miniatures to start out with. Yeah. I thought a lot of the stuff is, so that's definitely,
This is one I'm looking forward to most, mainly because I want to see what these traps are. So it's 32 traps. So I'm excited to open this up and take a look.
Yeah. Wally's going to do his due diligence, though. He's going to take a look at one of the unboxings and just make sure
that it's what I want.
Make sure, because 32 traps are good, but he's going to make sure it's good for him, which I suggest everyone else does as well.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to just rip through what I got?
Yeah. Share with everybody. If there's any questions, we're going to be wrapping this up soon. So if you have any more questions, be sure to post them in the chat.
So as always with Miniature Market, you got to sign up for their mailing list, because once one of these sales happens, you'll have like the first hours, a lot of the stuff is just going to be gone. And that's what happened to this one. The website was dying because there were so many people trying to buy stuff. And I had a bunch of stuff in my cart that went out of stock, but I did get Epic Encounters, Cove the Dragon Turtle. Again, $25, not the absolute best deal you're going to get, but still a good deal for a big old dragon turtle. I bought the Super Fantasy Brawl Army paint set because I'm running out of basic paints. And $15, you get a bunch of Army Painter brushes. Even their beginner brushes are very good for base coating and stuff like that. I got a bunch of the P3 paint. I got the WizKids Viking set, which is a very good set
as well. Yes.
Yeah. And then I got a bunch of the Fantasy Resin Yamisha. Now, this is what some of these game companies used to do. Yamisha is, I know nothing about it, but it's one of these games that comes with plastic miniatures. And then if you want, they also release the resin miniatures as fancy miniatures. So these were miniatures that retailed for $15 each, and they were on sale for $1 each. There was also a big, huge werewolf, which was in stock briefly, but as I was putting stuff in my cart, it went out of stock. But I did get the weird evil magician guy with the plume of skull smoke, as well as I got the Yamisha Legend of the Icy Peak expansion, which is the $1.51 that came with the 3 plastic miniatures, which I got just basically for the little monkey guy, which I hopefully will be. Cool. And then I got the Black Rose Wars Familiars, the Hydra. So those were the little Hydra guys, which I thought were really good sculpts. And
now that one's sold out, I believe, isn't it? Because we didn't see that. That one is now out of stock.
They were when I was ordering, they were all in stock. Cool. But the only ones left are the Griffins, which I think were kind of the worst sculpts out of the pack. Which
I
that
like
makes sense.
Hydra though, but that's a good deal. That one's out of stock. So so for those of you that are interested in this stuff, the sale is supposed to end tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Time, which is Chicago. And also on a lot of these you'll have to watch too. I do not believe that they will ship international, so a lot of these is just if you live in the United States. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I think that was a fun stream, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If you want to see more unboxing and miniature coverage and things like that, Blandco is your channel for it. All kinds of, I can't even name it. Why don't you name it? Why don't you plug your channel a little bit? Tell them about the videos you have.
Yeah, I do a lot of reviews for stuff like this specifically. I talk about miniatures that I got for inexpensive deals from Kickstarter, from clearance sales like this. A lot of the miniatures that we talked about in this video, I've done reviews of. Like I said before, the Journey Wrath of Demons. I did a very in-depth review about the Bard Sung. I did a very good. If you're interested in the Blacklist Games saga of the company that got into a lot of trouble, I reviewed their big set. You can find those. You can kind of get the idea of the quality of the miniatures, because I don't think you're going to actually be able to get the fantasy miniatures that I reviewed, because that was the big kerfuffle. Now, in a couple years, the company might finally get out of the weird legal gray area they're in, and they just might sell those off to the cheapest bidder, and we might see the market flooding with cheap Blacklist miniatures from the fantasy set. In which case, you should definitely buy those if you get those for very cheap, because they're very good miniatures, very excellent sculpts. But the definitely the deal here with I'm going to actually probably pick up Alter Quest stretch goals, which again, I didn't specifically review this because I've not bought it yet. I didn't, but this is the stretch goal box, which of course is one of the things you should always look for if you're looking for deals, because stretch goal box usually means with a game like Alter Quest, it's mainly miniatures. And yeah, so yeah, look forward for more reviews. I just did a review of the Wild Spire Miniatures Kickstarter that's going to be hitting Amazon pretty soon as a retail product. Nice. That had a bunch of little cute little guys, but not quite like Disney cute, not super deformed cute, but it did have a bunch of cute little miniatures for like spell effects and stuff, but not enough to like take you out of the seriousness of the game, which is my big issue. And I do things where I show where I go to the Goodwill by the pound.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and Goodwill by the pound. Don't forget about that.
Yep. I did not find anything yesterday, and like I said, I'm in a tornado situation now. So I'm not going to go to the Goodwill by the pound today because I don't want to risk my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Stay safe, man. So speaking of which, we'll go ahead and get off here. As far as I am after this, I'm going to pick a few things that I put in my cart, and I will probably maybe do an unboxing when those arrive and show you what I did end up buying. And future-wise, you'll see those in my puzzle and trap videos as either background pieces or main pieces that I needed to help illustrate puzzles and traps. But I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you're watching this on the rewind, thanks for that as well. And thanks to Miniature Market for putting all these great deals out there. I appreciate that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get out of here. Take care, everybody, and on to the next.